All right, guys, welcome to the Sunday scan for this coming week. We do have a short week ahead of us with a half day on Wednesday for Christmas Eve, and then obviously Christmas we're closed on the market. So pretty short week, but there's still some really good setups to go over for the week. And obviously, I'm not gonna spend too much time on the trades that I am currently in. I'm only in two. I have RKT, which is basically right around open or right around entry level, sitting around like -3%, I think is what it is. But I do have the May or March calls on this, so I do have a lot of time on these to let these run. This is more of a weekly chart play. If you look at the weekly, obviously we broke out and we're now retesting the 90 area on the weekly. Looks really good. I took a chance on these before the breakout, and then I'm also in ASTS, which is also up 60% here on the January call. So this is up pretty big. We're down to runners here, so this is obviously a trade I've already trimmed on. But yeah, those are the two trades I'm in. For what I'm watching going into the week, I think my favorite setup is on Gap. This is a holiday type theme trade, I guess what you can say, because obviously the holidays people are shopping, so this is a good stock I think that could run this week if it can break out over 28. You can see we broke out a couple days ago off this little flag here, kind of rejected this 28 spot, which is the top of this range. Now we're basically right back at that spot. So if we can get like a flat or down slightly open, I like this for breakout over 28. I hope we don't gap over our trigger level on Monday. That was a little corny joke, but yeah, so that's gonna be probably my top watch here going into Monday. I also like Goldman Sachs. I think there's a few bank stocks that I do like. I like Goldman Sachs, and I think JPM as well. The options are a little expensive on Goldman Sachs, so still debating on whether I should take these or not, because they'll definitely be options that I take a lot out of the money. So so it's still debating this, but it's still a really good setup. If we can break out over 896, I like this for target of 916 and then 920, obviously, and then above that is basically all-time high. So just 940, 960 could be spots to watch. So yeah, I like Goldman Sachs. I do also like JPM here. A little bit of a different setup, but it's kind of similar. Obviously, we're still in this like big range we've been trading in for the last several months. This could be like an early entry before the breakout over all-time highs, but if you want the safer play, I think the safest play is to take it over 920, which would be these all-time high spots here. So we'll keep this on watch. This isn't on my focus list. This is on the side watch here, but still both those banks look really good. Lemonade is another one that's been holding up really well with the market, right? We're just basically just trading inside this small range here. This looks like it wants to keep continuing higher. I mean, this weekly chart is just slowly grinding up here. Obviously we broke out of this, stage one base here. We're just basically been just ripping higher here. And I mean, obviously when you have stage one base breaks, you get explosive moves for the next several months. So I like this. This could potentially look good over 85. I wouldn't say this is like an A+ setup, but pretty nice. I think there's like an A- setup. So something I'm gonna be watching as well this week. And then if we go down to, I think Tesla's a really good setup as well. We obviously broke out of this huge base right over the last several months. You can see we've been basically trading sideways, and we finally broke out of here. And now we're just letting the moving averages catch up. This looks really good. You can see this little tight consolidation flag here from the last several days. Maybe 1 or 2 more days to let the moving averages catch up, but I think this wants to see 500 by the end of this year. So this could be something to watch as well. The weekly chart looks really good as well. So first time we've closed over 470. First time we've closed over 460. So still really bullish on this. This could definitely see 500 by the end of this year. So I'll be watching that as well. And then NEM, this was probably an entry you wanted to take on Friday over this $100 spot. But if we get maybe a re-entry here off a retest, this could look good. I'll probably move this down to keep on watch. But since the entry was already on Friday, but this looks good, right? This has been holding up extremely well with the markets kind of basically not selling off, but kind of pulling back here a little bit off the last few months or last few weeks. So this has been really strong, has not really flinched a muscle here, not even moving down at all. So this looks good. This can continue higher if the markets continue to grind higher as well. And then a few I'm going to keep on watch. I like QCOM here. This has kind of been not one of the great semiconductor stocks, but this could get some momentum here off this type flag here. I mean, you can see this isn't the prettiest flag, but I mean, if we can break out potentially over 177, 177, I think this looks good. You can, catch a nice play for a 183 target, and then probably like 190 could be that second target. This could be a good stock to take this week as well. So we'll keep this on watch. I do like MasterCard. This is the option I was watching. These are expensive as well on options, so I mean, just keeping that in mind. But this weekly chart, I think this is a really good weekly chart. Kind of an inside week here off some off a nice little kind of retest off the moving average and kind of closing almost like a hammer candle here. So this looks really good on the weekly. If we can break out over 573, this could look good. And I have a few stocks if the markets do end up kind of getting back to the weaker side. I like Netflix. I have this little tight bear flag here under 93.5. I think this could look really good under 93.5. This has been just selling off completely over the last few months. So just honestly just playing the trend here until it shows me otherwise. I mean, we're still struggling to get over this 90 MA here. So this could still see some downside here. So this could look good if the markets are weak. PLTR, obviously, I talked about how we missed this entry on Friday over 187. If we can maybe get some pullbacks here, I'll keep this on watch for this week. But yeah, this is looking really good for the next few weeks as well. This is a really nice weekly chart here too. So keep that on watch. And then another one I like if the markets are weak is INQ. I'm not really sure what the weekly looks like here, but I mean, the weekly doesn't look terrible. This looks kind of not as weak as the daily chart, but I mean, if we end up kind of selling off again, I think under 45 could potentially play out. But this is another short watch I'm looking at, and then a few more. I think I have 3 more stocks here. I really like QBTS. If this can get, I mean, I was watching this a couple weeks ago, and it obviously kind of invalidated with this breakdown here, but it looks like we're trying to set back up here. If we can break out over 27 or 28, I like this potentially. This weekly chart looks not that bad either, so we'll keep these on watch for this week as well. And NBIS, this could be something like an undercut type rally thing. Weekly doesn't look terrible. We're kind of hammering off this previous all-time high spot. So previous all-time high, we kind of came down, looked like we're breaking back down into this range, and we end up holding on the weekly chart. So that looks really good here. We'll keep that on watch as well. And then these are just a few weekly charts I'm looking at. But yeah, those are the stocks we'll be watching for this week. There'll probably be a little bit more setting up after Monday, but these are just the stocks that I really like for this week, and I think we can potentially see some more upside, hopefully. So going into the end of the year, get some Santa rally going. So, yep, hope you guys learned something. Hope you guys can take some of these trades and make some money on these. I'm sure going to hope to do that. So, yep, that's it. See y'all.